this is Rydo, and we are back with another recording session of Hearthstone. So, let's trade out something here. What do we have that's overlapping? Well, everything if I play on Warrior, which is good because I don't really have a lot of news to talk about this recording session anyways. So, which do I want to get rid of? Paladin or Rogue? I don't think we've played Rogue yet, so I'll get rid of this. And that didn't upgrade us any, but that's fine. So 140 gold is what we're going to get. We don't have a Tavern Brawl right now. Good. So now, for the first time, we are going to get on the ladder with the new standard and wild play. And notice, rank 23 here, rank 23 here. I was at rank 20 for both of them. I got up to rank 19 chest. That's kind of my goal. And because of that, I got, let's see, I got a gold back card. Can I turn that gold back card into dust? I'm not sure if I can or not. And I got a new card back. Yeah, I got this guy. So I guess I can disenchant that for 50. I suppose the monthly reward chest would eventually start upgrading everything to the point where I could, let's see, craft gold versions of Shaman. Can I get that card back? I think I can. It'd be really silly if I couldn't. Here it is. For 400 dust, I could get it back. That's not something I have any interest in. And here we have our new card back. So we'll make this the favorite. Now, I got a little bit of gold and a little bit of, no, I didn't even get any dust. So Warrior is where we start. Where is it? Warrior here. Ranked play. With the standard and wild ranks separate now, this is where we get into the weirdness. This is where it's going to take twice as much time to get to even level 20. And a lot of players, maybe me included, are going to have to.
Garrosh versus Anduin.
What?
The light shall bring victory.
Warrior deck
Victory or death!
Let's see. Need to come over here and switch it manually, I suppose. Warrior standard use. There we go. Something didn't detect there. Hopefully that it will be fixed from now on. So, the most important thing to say right now, I think, is I finally finished recording Assassin's Creed.
Are you my master?
But in evaluation of finishing that, I have realized I have hurt my chances to play Borderlands, which I've been talking about for months and months and months, almost a year now.
It's getting
It
hot
feels
in
like,
here!
probably not a year, but maybe 6 months. I've lost all the progress there. It took so long. It was so much
My ancestors
of an extra effort. Yeah, I think that'll work. So now I need to rebuild, and that's gonna be a pain.
Cthulhu! Cthulhu! Cthulhu!
On top of finishing Assassin's Creed, I also played another game called Mighty Switch Force Hose It Down, which is kind of a funny name and a funny game. Man, I should have put this out here, shouldn't I? Yep,
It's
I
time
shouldn't
for a
have.
little blood.
I think I played right there. you put, it's basically just pipes is what the game is. It's, you're trying to move pipes around to get from
Are
one point to
you my
another.
master?
A very simple game. That's all I was looking for when I got it. I was a little disappointed it only had like 50 puzzles. Maybe 10 or 20 of them were really, really simple. Far too simple for my liking. Let's see.
Who you want me killed?
So, you play as this firewoman in a like robot suit that is built-in fire extinguisher. That's rescuing in a lot of missions the hooligan sisters that are all these cartoon blondes. So it's this weird story, implied story of the background. It looks like a futuristic or alien world that seems to be completely full of only women. And this firewoman is saving the hooligan sisters, who maybe they're the ones that started the fire, and then she forces them to join the fire brigade as like some kind of punishment. It seems like, I mean, you get like 5 single frame pictures after you do 5 puzzles, and that's it for the entire story or any implication there. But with that being said, it is an amazing world concept that I want to get into the head of the person who thought this up. And there is some weirdness certainly there, because it's such a simple game. Firefighting game would be great. We should have a lot more of them. I've only seen one other firefighting game, and it was running through flames and saving kittens. It was pretty fun too. But in comparison to playing as a police officer, as a warrior of some sort, firefighting is where you could make a game with action and not have to deal with any more ambiguity of the characters. You know, a firefighter is almost always going to be doing the right thing.
Start running.
Job done. Implicitly trust them. They don't arrest people. They don't shoot people. If they do shoot people, it's with water hoses, and they don't even do that because then you would hurt them. And you could do an open world firefighting game pretty nicely, just like randomly generated fires in some city, and you have to race there and put them out for score. The Ghostbusters video game, Ghostbusters are kind of exterminators anyways, kind of
Back to work.
what would be another...
Stop moving!
Well, I'd say they're more exterminators than firefighters, but they're doing about the same thing. You're firing proton packs at ghosts. All you have to do is replace the word proton packs with fire hose and ghost with fire, and you've got that, some elements of that game replicated. It's really amazing how few. I mean, we have an entire series here of Assassin's Creed games, and yet games about assassins, and we have entire series about games about hitmen, and we have entire series about games as Tomb Raider. Much weirder, non-existent, really, professions get entire series, yet in the entire world of video games, well, maybe for the past few decades, no firefighting. And it's so kid-friendly. really is kid friendly for it. So then it becomes so weird that then on top of it being kid friendly, it's they put the subtitle hose it down or hose it down,
Job's done.
which is kind of provocative. Uh, and then they have these blonde hooligan sisters running around
I
to
feast
be
upon
saved. And yes, you can hose them down if you manipulate the flow of the fire extinguishers, but it's all small little animation. It's not explicit. It's very cartoony, very kid-like. It feels very much like there was one person who had an obsessive, like, entire world of concept in his head, and they put a decent game with this concept. Really, I'd like to see that world and that story as something more than a puzzle game. I would love to see them get a full story for a full game, because it is a unique world and an interesting thought to me. Personally, I've never had any real thoughts of wanting to be a fireman or really even cared about firemen. Maybe that's why there's so few games about it, but it really is a good concept, I
Garrosh
think.
versus Anduin.
Let's talk about Assassin's Creed.
The light
Assassin's
shall bring
Creed 1 is
victory.
garbage.
Victory
It's not
or death!
total garbage, but it is really, really bad considering how foundational it is. The story is all over the place. The only interesting gameplay in the whole stuff is the assassins. So you're talking 9 missions are actually worth playing, and the rest of it is added on and forced upon you when you really don't even. I don't even really want it.
It's time for a little blood.
So there's way too many collectibles, and the collectibles don't show up on the map, and on Steam the collectibles don't give you any kind of achievements, so there's no reason to play them in my mind. In fact, there's never any reason to play them. The game seems completely
Back to work!
Who you
How
want me
they
kill?
completely worse because of the invention around the time it came out of achievements and all that. Because they ended up focusing on these collectibles and giving achievements for these collectibles, which I think Microsoft actually required games to have achievements. That it wasn't an opt-out type thing, which is the problem there.
No problem!
How am I gonna do this? Let's do this.
No problem!
So yeah, there's all these flags, these Templars everywhere. The Templars, in particular, were placed as a form of collectibles where you have to kill 60 of them, but they will immediately identify you if you
This
walk by them.
document looks legally
So
binding.
2 or 3 times I was in the middle of a side quest that required you to not be discovered. Discover a 5/5 faceless destroyer. Well, I think not. How can we
What
do this?
now?
It's time for a lot of blood.
So the Templars, you'd walk by them, and when you're trying to remain hidden, they'd immediately identify you, and you'd blow the quest. And when we got to the last few sets of side quests, they were specifically being designed to be very hard. Many side quests at the end required me to play a few times, whereas at the beginning half of the game there was no level of difficulty in it at all. The fights at the end got very difficult. This game had no difficulty setting at all, so it was just like you were breezing through well past the halfway point, and then all of a sudden things got hard.
Quickly.
See, a 5/5 faceless destroyer actually isn't that helpful. I'm just gonna do this and then attack. And then end the turn. The story is all over the place in Assassin's Creed 1. It ends on a cliffhanger, and really it's not until Assassin's Creed 2 do you get even start to begin the continuation of that story or have fun. Now Assassin's Creed 2 in particular is a huge improvement over the first game. If they were going to do
We must
remasters
cleanse the
of
sun well.
red car things, I'm sure they would skip right over one and go into the Ezio arc. One would assume that's what's going to be in the Assassin's Creed movie. That'll be very interesting. We'll see when that comes out. That's something I need to study. I've dropped the ball again. There was something, I don't even remember what it was now. Something or other was airing a movie with video games, and I should have played the game to cover that. I'm trying to stay up on that. I don't have a good source as far as to when movies are coming out. I need to, I don't know, figure out if there's a Twitter feed I could follow that of some bot or something, without me having to follow every single video publisher, movie producer, and publishers. There is a new Harry Potter thing coming out eventually, so I'll try to do Lego Harry Potter around then. I'm planning right now to do the Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings month as a filler. Here, we're getting close to the 10th month of October, which will be a horror fest, the most thematic month because that theme is very broad.
I have an axe to grind.
But
Job's done.
I think I'll try and play Shadow of Mordor. I've had some success on sales lately. I realized the Humble Bundle was a thing that existed. I've certainly been hearing about the Humble Bundle for a few years now, but since I didn't particularly buy a lot of games, and it just never occurred to me that that was a cheaper potential opportunity. So, Digital Devolver, publisher of small independent games from many different makers of games, had a Humble Bundle where it was like 10 games that sell for about $10 each. I could get them all for $10, so that works out pretty good.
It's time for a lot of blood.
So I chose to give it to the Electronic Freedom Foundation, which I assume is probably the best charity for me as a YouTuber to donate to. Maybe there is a charity more that would focus on fair use and issues of such like that, but I don't know of it. I think I'm gonna lose here, even though it's 10 to 23 effectively.
What does the future hold?
So that allowed me to get like Titan Souls. Titan Souls in particular has been a game that's really kind of too short in my mind, just the way I see it. 1 to all other minions. Yep, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna lose. But yeah, Titan Souls has been $10, and it feels like it should be a
The gates are open.
$2.50 game type stuff. $2.50. I've had similar problems with things like what was Downwell. People talk about it, and then it gets a little bit of hype, catches my attention, but Downwell really didn't feel like it was worth the paid for it, or that it was even really worth playing much to me. I don't know why. So I have to stick with Warrior here, but I don't have to stick with my standard play. So let's move over to Wild Warrior. So for $10 I got 10 games, and I can now consider Titan Souls the game that cost me nothing. Or I could be more realistic and balance that out and say each game costs about $1, and at $1 Titan Souls makes sense. Because it is an incredibly difficult game that I think is going to potentially be just a spotlight.
Victory or death!
I did try this program out, and I don't know if I'm going to stick with this or not. It's a little bit strange. What is this deck I'm playing? Why does it have Murlocs in it? I don't remember what I built this deck for. Oh. I think this is a charge deck. Oh yeah, it is. So it's just like charge, charge, charge. I'm gonna end the turn first though. Yeah, I'm very happy with the number of games I've beaten. It's a nice long list. And then I use this program that sorted all of my other games into categories for Steam. Just automatically grab from the Steam's database what category is this game, and then it would create a category in the library to match that. And that's a nice thought. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to continue to use it because it did make quite a mess, really, of my categories. I had already trained myself to be aware and understanding.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
There was like one list at the very bottom with all the games I haven't played yet, and then there's another list, a few other lists of like things I've gotten free, which I'm mostly uninterested in covering games I got for free. There's probably not a good excuse for that. So here's my two main cards. Now we just need to see. I think I have to play this. I should reevaluate the rule of not being interested in playing things I got free. It wouldn't get reevaluated too differently. It would just be there are a few games in that collection that I'd probably do on cover, but there are also a lot of games there that I've never heard of and don't look that good. Well, this one will be interesting. Right. At the end of your turn, summon a 2/2 null.
I wonder.
Let's play the coin now. So what else are we up to? Not a lot. I hadn't, because I wasn't working at all really, I hadn't really made any preparations or thoughts of to what, as far as what the next thing is going to be. The next series, the next recordings for any channel. This guy's 4, so I'm going to kill this guy. Take this guy. This guy. This guy's pit fighter, I don't want him yet. Charge.
Job's done.
Gets 1 attack. I think I'm now ready to start playing and winning. Play this guy, and then this guy, which wouldn't work. Yeah, and this guy needs to kind of get removed.
Charge forward!
So return, restore 3 health to a damage-friendly character. Do I want to play that?
For the war song!
Alright, this guy got charge, so that means I can take this guy out now.
For the nose!
In the turn. There we go. Now we're going to start seeing some changes. Now it's going to start working in our favor. Let's see. This and this. And attack.
For the
Attack.
nose! For the war
Attack.
song! For the war
Attack.
song!
Job's done.
In this turn. This 1 mana card legendary is worthless. It's too random, far too random. Now that I've played it a few times, I need to come back and make a change. Notice we're not making a lot of victories here. I think what I'm gonna do after this recording session, since we're not even 30 minutes into this one, is I think I've got to go the right thing to do. And my Hearthstone deck tracker is not recognizing this deck again. Is it because of this? I don't know. Let's see. Here. Here. And 7.
For the war song! For the war
6.
song!
And all I
Job's
need
done.
is 1 more charge and I've won. So, yep. I'm hopefully back on track now. It is somewhat probably of a mistake to do a Lord of the Rings
So many options.
recording session like for my next month of recording. Not recording session, but month theme, because probably a lot of content IDs coming my way. YouTube's new content ID dispute
So
system
many options.
isn't really going to change anything for me. I still am of the opinion that you need to dispute as soon as possible for it to really work, this new system, once it gets implemented, which it's not even implemented yet. Because if you, say, made $100 in the 1 hour it took you to dispute, I bet that $100 check is already in the processing and getting mailed to whoever made that claim. I think it still feels very much like you're gonna get some small amount of money if you're million. they're gonna get that revenue, I think. I don't think everything now is just gonna become a delayed process where they wait 30 days. Because eventually you get to this thought. And it becomes a weird thought. It's like, what happens if you get 1,000,000 views and they content ID claim it, and then 90 days, 4 months, a year later you dispute it? That money is gone. That money's been paid. Surely at that point.
Geralt versus Thrall.
It has to be. And there's no limit to dispute.
Victory or death!
Absolutely no limit in content ID. So you can go back and dispute something you didn't dispute for a ridiculously long amount of time ago. For a while there, it was there was some kind of trickery it was doing where if you closed the page by clicking the OK button, and maybe it still does this and I just don't see it because I always dispute things.
I don't have enough mana.
Yeah, this Shifter Xeris is messing up Hearthstone deck tracker. That's alright, I'll figure that out later. Or they'll figure that out later, the programmer will fix that. But yeah, it says you confirmed it, basically that you agreed with it if you click the OK button. So don't click the OK button. Always dispute. Always dispute, and just close the page regular. Ooh. I should have played this. That would have been a really good card to play. Oh. I saw somebody playing on Clash Royale, and they named their name That's. And at the beginning of Clash Royale, it says the name of your opponent and then your name. So for me, it says That's Rydo. I thought that was a pretty cute way of thinking about it. Gain +1 attack for each other card in your hand. Again, probably a decent card to play. It wouldn't have done me a lot of good. Let's see. He starts as 1, he would have been a 4 when all is said and done. Do I want to play this coin? No. I'm gonna hold the coin as long as I hold this till I find something I remember to play.
The elements will destroy you.
Right. Your hero power costs 5 more next turn. Should I play that? No, I don't think there's a real reason to play that.
Oh my god!
Here.
For the nose!
In the turn. So, there's not a ton of strategy here. I was watching Crip, whoever, the famous Hearthstone player, called Crip on Twitch, but I think his name has more to it than that.
Don't worry, Lux, the cavalry's here.
Than just Crip. And
Giddy up!
he was talking about how he made a deck on one of his free-to-play accounts, and just the concept boggles my mind. It's like, what do you mean you can manage a second or third or fourth account playing Hearthstone? It seems so ridiculous.
Ready to ride. Handle it!
Alright, so I took that
My
guy
steel!
Giddy up!
in the turn. But I honestly think he's the guy that has, like, his main account has thousands and thousands of gold and thousands and thousands of dust. So he's probably got gold versions of everything, just like a full complete collection. But then again, he is also streaming like non-stop. Oops. I thought this was a 2.
Job's done.
So I need to do 14 damage and he's got me in a little bit of a bind. Dr. Boom. Legendary I don't have. And should have. Let's see. This.
For the king!
And then this.
For
Then
honor.
That's incredible.
The that's incredible now is the sorry. Because he's saying he's gonna win. This guy's a little overpowered. 2 overload to be a 7/7 on the 4th turn. Does he have enough to do the last 3? Let's see. I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. Let's see. But nothing combines. So if I did something like this and this, that's about the best move I can make, and I'm still gonna lose.
The scourge will consume you!
Taking breaks between recording to record more Hearthstone is still a big thing. I wouldn't have even wanted to record more than one recording today if I wanted to start it again. I think once I stop needing to play ranked play, I will very quickly decide to go back to like one recording every 3 days. But I can't maintain that forever. That's not maintainable at all. For every 3 days, at least to some extent, the math is funny because I don't do Saturday or Sunday. For every 3 days, I need to make 3 recordings, and I don't know how I can do that without getting to 30-minute episodes, which would mean I'm playing barely 1 or 2 games, maybe.
The light shall bring victory.
The length of a game
Victory or
seems to
death.
vary sometimes very wildly in Hearthstone. But every second I'm recording here is another second I'm not recording something else. It's gotta be the Shifter's Heiress every single time. Alright, we'll start with this. Attack in the turn. Attack 2. Attack. In the turn. So second turn you can get them down to 26. That's probably the highest you could get them down to.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
Then I could probably have gotten them down to
Job's
21 by the 3rd turn.
Is someone injured?
Let's see. Deal 5 damage to your hero. I don't think so. This way, this way. You really have to just overwhelm him. He has to have no cards for his first 5, 6, 7 turns and overwhelm you.
Someone call for the...
I could clear the board right now.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Now I couldn't. Destroy a random enemy with 2 or less. Let's do it.
Giddy up!
Attack, attack, attack. Again, in the turn. I was hoping this one would be the one that got destroyed, but stampeding Kodo worked. By pure randomness. Board gets cleared. 6
To
for
no
guaranteed charge. Kill this character. End the turn. Have I talked about the intro yet? I don't know if I have. So I'm gonna just talk about it, assuming I haven't mentioned it. I am messing with Blender, I think I said that, and trying to learn, and trying to figure out a way to make an intro. I'm trying to make a really, really good intro. Probably an intro that my channel is not worthy of. Something that would catch people's attention and keep them watching for the entire length of the video. That would be really good. Thematically, it's kind of weird what I want in it. It's weird to figure out what I want in it. Is the right way to say that. Because I would want it to
do you see?
probably represent what video games in general are, so that's a very diverse statement. It's kind of hard, if not impossible, to know what video games are or are about. So I'm definitely putting a lot of thought into it. It's probably going to take at least a year to make it, so hopefully I can improve the quality of my recording to match it, because that would be really nice. The right thing to do is to have good quality of recording. It's pretty lame, and up to this point I've kind of thought I shouldn't have any let's try the rogue. It's pretty lame to have a great intro and then just come to a boring video, or an extremely boring video, which sometimes it is kind of boring. In my own footage is it's hard to without going full just high energy, making up memes and just ranting and stop talking non-stop. It's hard to have good intellectual content in some games. For instance, Mighty Switch Force Hosing Down is a pipe
I
game.
will fight
It
with honor.
only took me an hour and 30 minutes, so I made 2 episodes to cover the whole game. But even in that second episode, it was very, very much a scenario of I don't have anything new to say about this game. It was a fun game, but you can't really say that much. It's a pipe game. You move the pipes around so the water can flow to the right point. That's all there really is to it. I'm gonna end my turn here and play this and then this next turn.
Powering up! Portals online!
Let's see. This. Play this. Play this. Got these. Oh well. End the turn.
I can wait and fish all day.
And so I would assume that with an intro, I would stop saying things. I wouldn't go, hey everybody, this is Rydo. I could eliminate that formality because people would know. I want it to be super high energy and catch people's attention. Retention rate on my videos is still very poor. This week in particular is pretty poor. Income on these videos for this past rolling 7 days is somewhat poor. Let's see. This.
Blood and plunder.
And then just get rid of that guy.
Here we go.
Get rid of this one. Income is down, but what's weird about the income is ignoring the first couple of months on my channel where I got no income. It's been kind of this 3 cents a day, 6 cents a day, 12 cents a day, 24 cents a day, and then the big bumps when there's something big happening where it would be. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do this. Blaze has been nerfed, by the way. Let's remember always.
Well played.
No quarter.
Job's done.
So like big days when big expansions are getting, when announcements for Hearthstone basically come out, it'll go up to $1.25 that day. It'll go up to $2.50, and then start balancing out the weeks a little bit more in such a fashion that that it makes a little bit more sense. But let's see, I'm gonna give this one more health. That seems like a good
Job's done.
However, I still am hoping that I'm seeing a slope there. So I don't think I get days now where it's going to be
Feed the fish,
3 cents a day. I think it's going to be a 12 cents a day is my new minimum. And that's nice. All these attacks are just one, so I guess I'll just
Here we go.
do this.
Job's done.
So slow progress there. No great leaps as far as views, no great leaps as far as shares, no great leaps as far as income. It would be nice to get that one viral video that would just jump everything. I looked at the website that like predicted where my channel would be in 5 years, and at the current rate, it's not great.
Here we go.
It's real low numbers for 5 years. Right now I have 70 subscribers, which is good. I will quicker than I thought. I will be making a small, very very short thanks for 100 subscribers video.
Well played.
Nowhere as long as thanks for 100,000 views. Because I'm just going to say thanks for 100 subscribers and then move on to and point people to the other video to talk about what that really means, because it doesn't really change any of the things I spoke about how having 100,000 views or even 100 subscribers doesn't really all of a sudden mean I'm a millionaire, that I've got all kinds of income coming in. It's actually very low numbers, but it's progress. The fact that I even have 70 subscribers is an amazing progress, considering it has all been just by randomness. I have not really done any groundwork. I'm not handing flyers out where I live saying subscribe to my channel. I'm not talking to people on the streets or anybody really. It has simply been by people searching Google and YouTube, finding my videos and liking them enough or being kind enough to subscribe to my channel. So it's been just based on the content being thrown out there. And hopefully more of my videos will get suggested and more people will like them, and because of that I will fix that. Also, I think I may have screwed up the audio on Mighty Switch Force. It may have been too loud, and I'm not, and here's an admission of laziness, I'm not really willing to spend another hour and a half playing that game just to set it down. So that may have been a screwed up thing. I need to be much more careful, much more cautious on that, because the game audio had like no internal audio control. I turned it halfway down to 50% via Windows, and it probably should have been 25%. Anywho, that's my confession for today. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. Hope that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.